What's going on, everybody? Hey, so we've got a little bit different look here today, and this is us kind of re-entering the space and getting our show back up on these platforms. And you see, we've changed the name, Finding Your Place with Scott Bunn, and I've asked Weston to be a part of this thing. He's going to be my co-host in spots that we don't kind of have guests. And as we've revamped this thing, we don't have a guest today, so he's joining me here, and we're going to just talk about the evolution. We're going to talk about the evolution of this thing. We're going to talk about the 2 months that we took off that he's helped kind of develop this thing, and the guy that made our table, and just kind of what the future is going to be in this thing. So
for sure,
yeah. So anyway, so let's just talk about it. So we changed the name, and I've given you some creative control, and you've got some great ideas, man. I'm excited about your ideas.
Yeah.
Just tell everybody what your thought process was from changing the name, from putting you in your place to finding your place, and just tell them about that.
Yeah. Well, so when I first started here, actually a year ago, I got a story on my Snapchat that I've been here for a year.
Nice.
So a year ago, when I got here, I was diving into a YouTube channel, and I sent it to a bunch of my other friends that are creators, and I was like, hey guys, these are some ideas that I have. I was like, what do you guys think? I was like, this is what the podcast is called. I was like, podcast to me was really key, because I could see that the podcast space is taking off right now. It's the new frontier for YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was like, so that's what I went with for the most part, was your podcast. That's what I focused on the most. And I was like, what do you guys think about this podcast? And a lot of people were like, they said they understand the name, but they were like, it could be better, because it could come across as maybe a little derogatory in certain spaces. Not that that's a bad thing.
Or aggressive.
Or aggressive. Yeah, I guess aggressive would be a better word for it. So I was like, okay. And then, so we ran with that for a little less than a year, 8 months, I think, 8-9 months.
Yeah.
And then me and Logan, during our break, we were just shooting ideas, trying to figure out okay, how can we make the podcast better? What kind of things can we do to the outlines to, make them a little more entertaining for people, or just trying new things. Yeah. And I think Logan said, what if we change the name to Finding Your Place? And as soon as I heard it, I was like, I like that. I was like, because the whole podcast, we're talking about things in the NRV, talking about, sometimes we talk about your business too, where it's you help people find houses. Yeah. So, and there's that word again, find. Yeah. So it was finding your place, just and I think when we brought it up to you in the meeting, you were like, that sounds great. Yeah. So we were like, it has a more approachable name, I guess. It's if you've never seen the podcast before, it doesn't, put you off. And we put your name in it because it's Finding Your Place with Scott Bunn. We just don't have it here because I didn't find a text that I thought worked well with this. Yeah. So, but we'll add it later. Right. But for now, it's Finding Your Place. Yeah. So yeah, that's sort of how the name change went, and it's just another little check on my list. Yeah. And
I've pretty much given you creative control here. I want to do this, and I'm limited in the time that I have, so I'm really kind of leaning on you and Logan to help, give me ideas and point me in the right direction, and then we just do it consistently, whatever it is. So what you've done here and your ideas, I value those. I want to execute those. That's why I'm paying you. I'm paying you for that. So so when you bring me these ideas and I like them, I want to go and do them. So you guys, I want you to always feel like there's major appreciation from me to you guys, because I cannot create. I can just throw money at it and say do it, and here we are. Y'all are doing it. Yeah. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're just looking at all of your ideas, what you want the podcast to be. You wanted the podcast to bring more awareness to New River Valley, and we're like, okay, let's figure out how to do that. And then we got to balance, there's tons of things we have to balance. So we were just trying to find the best, and I think we've got a good
help me understand a little bit of all right. So we have Finding Your Place.
Yes.
tell me about the ideal show for finding you in your place. I know we're trying to structure this thing out. We're trying to have pretty much consistency within the order of the show and stuff like that. So, like Marie March is going to come on. Is that because she's, multifaceted, right? So she's a political candidate that is also running businesses, that is a major leader of the community. So that's a finding your place, or is that?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. That's finding your place. Finding your place. We're highlighting businesses and like local people that have great messages.
Yeah, like
that's like the big what we want finding your place to be.
Gotcha.
It's like when people want to know more about a business, or they want to know more about people, like a person, like maybe like a political candidate, like in the area. Like, we want them to think of finding your place and come and watch the video, because hopefully we would have already had that business on.
Gotcha.
Now, there's lots of businesses in the NRV.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a while to build up an entire library of every single business in the New River Valley. But hopefully one day we can get there.
Right. And you're trying to differentiate finding your place versus putting you in your place. Like Derek Nowlin, our buddy Derek, I want to have him on again.
Yeah.
But he's
he could be a finding you in your place. He's he's a local comedian, and he's got a message for the New River Valley.
Gotcha.
Putting you in your place is more of like a, we were thinking more of, that was going to be more of like a rant style thing, or it's like, you see something, and it's more of, instead of like having the person who's sitting like in this chair talk about their business, putting you in your place is more of you giving the person in this chair advice.
Gotcha.
And like that's the purpose of the show. Gotcha. Is like it doesn't always have to have a guest though. It's like, you see something and you want to rant about it and you want to talk to people. That's putting whatever that is in its place or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's your original brainchild, right? Yeah. So we didn't want to like just scrap it.
Right.
So we just were like, okay, well, this was his original idea for putting you in your place, and putting you in your place podcast was sort of all over the place.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's make one where it's like all we do is just ask them interesting questions about their business, try to find out more about it.
Right.
And then it's like, even after like the show is over, if you wanted to go and like, it'd be like, hey, do you want to run a quick like putting in your place episode? Because probably not going to be, I mean, I guess they could be an hour long, but I would estimate them to be more like 20-minute shows.
Even 5 minutes. If it's just one piece of advice, that I could give them, and that doesn't need to run live. That can be that can be run just off air, and we can repurpose and edit those situations for that moment of like, either clarity or just like, there's heat in the moment with that person, and we can just edit that for the platform we're going to take it to.
Yeah, I mean, like if in finding your place, it comes up organically where it's like, oh, well, like there's this thing that, like you were already talking about it, and you're like, oh, well, here's this thing, you can, bring it up. Yeah. But like the main idea of finding your place is to help the audience better understand what that business is.
Gotcha. So that will be less of my opinions on things and more questions, so the guest is kind of leading the show there, right? Like that's not going to be a commentary show. That's going to be me interviewing a business person, so the community gets to know those businesses in a more deep, intimate way. Yeah,
pretty much. Well, I mean, like for example, it's like, well, if they say something, you're like, oh, well, I thought it went this way, and you go on like your opinion. It's like the purpose of the show isn't like your opinion all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas like putting in your place, it would like flop back and forth depending on the guest.
Right. And that was the intent of putting you in your place. It was the fact that I could get off my opinions. So really the putting you in your place show, it was like a mixed message on like what we were trying to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we were just trying to, make a more clear message for like the audience.
Sure.
So cause it's like, if, I don't know, because like we started finding a lot of like success when we started bringing on other local businesses. So I saw that was like a clear like want from people. So it's like they can come to your channel and subscribe for like either thing, and there's going to be other stuff that we're working on too.
Yeah,
yeah. So that was like sort of the idea with the rebranding.
Right on.
Yeah.
So where do we stand today? I know we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Like I haven't looked at the analytics on the
267, I think.
Okay, so we haven't moved. We haven't moved.
We actually have gone up a few subscribers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've gone up like 3, I think, 3 like not posting in like a month.
Right. Or even asking.
Yeah.
Like we're not even asking. Like we were asking for like every day. Like I was like, hey, go to YouTube, or I was posting on Facebook, go to YouTube, subscribe. Yep. Like I haven't done that. And you're saying we didn't lose many, and we actually gained a couple?
Nope. I don't think I ever saw it drop below 264.
Nice.
I think is where it was when we finished with like episode 49 of Putting You in Your Place, or episode 50, something like that. Yeah. I can't remember how we went with that last episode. But yeah, it's actually gone up. Actually, where some of the subscribers are coming from is that new Putting You in Your the Putting You in Your Place episode where you talked about rent to own. So we've actually
we actually starting to get some heat on that one.
I'm not gonna say it's blowing up like the last one, but it's like slowly like trickling in. There's actually some comments on there that I'm probably gonna need you to answer. Yeah. Like there's one guy who's like, we're definitely gonna need you to answer on it, because I was reading it and I'm like, dude, I don't know what. I mean, he's got like credit score things that he needs help with. He was thinking about rent to own. I think he's like a day trader or something like that. Gotcha. I mean, it was a long comment, so you probably
man, sometimes I get on there and I try to go to the comment and the comments disappeared.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Me either.
I haven't figured that out yet. I mean, like, yeah, I really don't know, because like I see the notification and you click on the notification, it doesn't go anywhere.
Exactly.
So, and I go back and I like,
I'm looking through all the comments,
because I can look at the thumbnail to see what YouTube video it's on, and like I'll go to the YouTube video and go to the comments and it's not there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's happening there. I haven't figured it out yet.
Right.
So I mean, it could just be like a glitch with YouTube or something. Probably what it is.
Yeah. Well, I want to shout out Dane Elder here with let me see what his company name is. It's like Singing Woodworking or something like that. Let me see real quick. I mean, he did a great job on this table. And we're gonna put a TikTok together here soon that shows the progression of the table being made. Singing Tree Woodworking is the company. He's out of Floyd. Really good guy. Like he delivered exactly what he said he was going to on the day that he said he was going to do it. This definitely wasn't a cheap item, but it was so worth it. I mean,
it's a really nice table.
Yeah.
Like this is.
So if you guys are looking for custom table work, holler at Dane for sure. Tell him that we sent you.
Yeah.
I guess the future of this show is going to be dependent on like if we can actually get people in here to interview. But honestly, man, if me and you can just look at current events in business and we just continue to do this over and over and over and over again, and we get 100 shows in, I think people are going to be begging us to get in here. Like I don't think there's going to be any. There's no doubt in my mind that this is a valuable thing that people will take advantage of. It's just consistency and confidence in what we're doing, and knowing that people are going to, this is a if you build it, they will come scenario. Yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah.
So
I think so. Yeah, for sure. I was trying to think of. I was like looking at some other podcasts like earlier, trying to figure out like what they do content wise. Like it's like because I was looking at some of these other podcasts and they have multiple shows, but they're not putting out the same show like every week.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe like 1 week they'll do like this one show, and then the next week they'll do something completely different. But it's like they have like a series of like 3. So maybe it's not even like, oh, we don't have a guest this week. Let's just run something under the name Finding Your Place, and we just do something else where we're just, because we're sitting like in the office like all day while we're working, we're just like kind of like cracking jokes and all that kind of stuff. So it's like if we just had a podcast where we just did that, like 1 week instead of like Finding Your Place, just because we don't have a guest, like we shouldn't like force it, right? Yeah. It's like, oh, we don't have a guest, let's like force an episode, just to get one in. It's like, let's just make it different. Like we're still putting out content. People are still coming there on a Tuesday. Right. Might not be what they originally thought it was, but hopefully they stick around and they're like, wow, this is like funny.
Hey, honestly, you know me, like again, this is another thing that I've tasked you guys to do that honestly, I didn't even task you guys to do it. You just know that that's the right thing to do to structure this thing out. I'm a shoot from the hip guy. Yeah. I mean, I can just sit here, I can talk to you 3 about anything we want to talk about, but y'all have me grounded to know that, we need to have some sort of consistency, and we want to dive into these people in the same way every week.
Yeah. Well, see, like, it's different though, because I feel like if we have a guest on, we should have a structure, because we want to make sure we talk to them about like because we don't know them all the time.
Right.
So like we want to make sure that we like have a structure, or it's like if we're talking about a specific topic, we should like structure it to make sure that
we're educated.
We know what we're talking about. Yeah. Well, at least to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to say we're like experts on everything we talk about.
Honestly, I want to have somebody in that chair that we ask really inquisitive questions to, because we don't know, and they can inform us.
Yeah. Well, that's what Logan's for. He's got Google. That's our whiz kid.
Yeah. Right.
Google's the whiz kid.
The all-knowing Google.
Yeah. So but that's what I mean. Like we don't always have to force a finding your place episode. Like maybe we might have one where we have like a week where we do like 2 finding your place episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but as long as we're putting something out on a Tuesday, like we're good.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be a finding your place. Like we can just make it whatever we want.
Yeah.
Honestly, because if we're just sitting here shooting from the hip, we don't really need a structure for that. I don't think.
Yeah.
We're just kind of talk about whatever. So, and it's like if we're sitting here, and we're like, oh well, I don't know too much about that thing that I want to talk about. It's like you just Google it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's different depending on like what you're doing, I would say.
Right.
So.
Well, I think Logan prepared a little bit of our evolution prior to the show. And, the people listening on audio is not going to be able to see this, but we'll try to commentate as well as possible. Logan, do you have any from the studio we did, in the office that Weston's in now? Do you have any of that footage?
I actually did not know you guys started there.
That would be
way before.
That was like way before.
Yeah, way
that's
before my time.
Gotta be like episode like 1 through like 9. I think.
1 through 10.
Wow.
We broke it down. We broke it down at 10, and actually the 10th episode was the episode we went into what is my office now.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is this picture right here.
That's after like revamp 1.
This was 2.0. This was 2.0. We're sitting at 4.0 right here, because we did 3.0 in this office, but then we've revamped this one. So this is office 2.0 here with the terrible sound dampening panels and the blown out lighting with the what are those called?
They're like nano leaves.
Nano leaves, nano leaves, and the Pac-Man joint that's flickering, and this.
We still got him, but he's turned off.
Yeah, he made his way. He made his way back.
He's back.
Right.
He's back.
He's in the frame, but he's not lit up. So let's see the next one.
All right.
So that is in here. That's 3.0 before we even put the TV in, right?
Yeah, I chose to do before the TV just to show it's very dark.
Yeah. It's dark and then blown out in spots. Like the lighting is not good. But hey, consistency and effort, that's what we're about. We show up, we try hard, we stay late, and there's not going to be many people that outwork us. That's for sure.
And that's the last one I had before this one, of course. So the main change before this studio was the TV.
Yeah.
So now.
Oh well, yeah, that's true. It was the TV, but we also changed the microphones.
Oh, you guys did. Oh, yeah, you guys did.
Yeah, we were still using Yetis back
so this
then.
microphone is still. This is like a memento from past podcasts.
Yeah. Dude, these mics are so much better.
No doubt.
I love these things.
And I'm past the whole headphone thing. So as you guys are seeing this, you see that we got these big headphones on. So, most of these podcasters are doing that. So we're kind of fitting into the brick wall here on some of this stuff, just because it's successful. We're trying to rip off and duplicate the success that others have had, and kind of make it our own and spin it off on our own type thing. So.
I've always been a big headphone guy.
Yeah.
I just played video games when I was like younger, and I always had big headphones.
Right.
So it's just like I feel like that's like kind of like gone backwards.
Right.
Like
I just didn't understand it. I just didn't understand why they needed these headphones.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, because like if we're playing audio through the TV, it's like it's going to pick up in the microphone, so we got to hear it in here.
Yeah.
Well, that's the main reason for the headphones. And then we can also hear each other a little bit better. Like, because like when Logan's like sitting like freaking 10 feet over there and he's trying to talk to me, there's a computer monitor in between him and me.
Yeah.
I can't hear him that well.
Right.
So him being able to talk through that microphone, I can hear him clearly through my ears.
Yeah.
It's more for, I guess, so that way we can hear him rather than for me to be able to hear you. Because we're just sitting here. There's nothing like really in between us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right on. Hey, how many we got? Do we have any viewers right now?
Not currently.
Not currently. All right.
But you know, we did kind of come back out of the blue here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been, you know, Scott, so I got a question for you. Sure. Actually. Like, you know, all these different changes we have here in the studio, what is your favorite thing in here now? Like, what is your favorite change in the studio? It's got to be the
fake plants, man.
Just kidding. I mean, I am super proud of this table. You know, this table, you know, we put the logo on the table. Wish it was kind of a little bit further down here so it kind of caught all the frame. But, dude, what I've had the ability to create here is something I'm super proud of. It's something that I don't think a lot of people would have taken the risk to do. I think it's something that is going to lead to more attention and more opportunities. And I'm just really proud that we're here and we're happy with this setup. I made the investment to do everything that we have here. And I'm just proud of my courage that it took to do all this. You know, but you know, if I have to point out an item, it's this table. This is a symbol for me that we're really doing it. This is a symbol of a commitment that I've made to this, that I'm serious about it. And that's what I'm most proud of. So great question. And I mean, I think this is going to get us a long way down the line. Yeah. Any follow-ups?
Wow. I mean, I couldn't have answered it better myself. That table is it's fantastic. It's so much better than that old one that we had, the glass table.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that thing.
And Weston, you brought up the plants. Are you sure those aren't real? I mean, it's kind of amazing. We haven't watered them in weeks.
They do look real. They look really real. I'm like sitting right next to them. They look really real.
They do.
Like I'm just trying to look at them, and I'm like, these weren't even that expensive. They were like $20 on Amazon for all 4 of them.
Right.
Yeah,
and they actually look like real plants. Like I'm sitting right next. I mean, other than the fact that the stem is green and not like brown, you wouldn't know. And well, now they know because we just told them. But
yeah, I mean, Scott, you didn't actually seem to understand just how excited me and Weston were about the fake plants.
Nah, I was actually against these plants. Like, I am like.
I do think the tree would have been too much, though.
Yeah.
Like if we would have put that tree in there, like it would have been too much for sure.
You want a fun evening? Just go shopping for fake plants on Amazon.
Yeah,
it's a good way to pass the time.
Yeah, right. I definitely think when we were getting items for studio. Like we definitely spent too much time looking at the fake plants rather than because we already knew what we needed for the other stuff, but the fake plants we were like, I don't know, this looks cool, and then we just went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, and then they came in and we were like, yes, they're finally here.
Yeah, it was really funny.
So tell me on the lighting setup and the things that you help me understand how far you had to dive in to make these decisions for us.
Oh, man. It was a lot of looking to see what other studios do. Understanding.
Who'd you take inspiration from the most?
Oh, what the heck is that? Logan, what's that one YouTube channel?
Ooh.
If you go on YouTube and type in, podcast setup, it'll show up. I can't remember what the name of that channel is.
That's a really good question.
But I would always go back and, watch theirs because it was super informative. And it actually looked good.
Yeah.
Not to diss on anyone else. Everyone's got their own thing, for the way they want their podcast studio to look. But theirs just was they brought in professionals. They brought in this dude who worked on lighting for, I think he said the Grammys or something like that. And I'm like, well, if this dude is talking about lighting and he did it for the Grammys, I should probably listen to what this guy has to say. And they did it on not a budget, but limited equipment. So they had a 2 light setup like this where it's the one light right there with the dome and the egg crate, and then they had the China ball as like sort of like the fill light. But I guess like for how limited of the space we are this way, this is probably, I don't think this is the key light. I feel like that's more of the key light and that's the fill light.
Right.
Am I getting that right? When you talk about a 3 lighting setup, it's like the key light's the main light, the fill light's what fills in the really harsh shadows.
Yeah.
And then you have like your backlight.
Yeah.
So these two things right here.
Right. And you have, of course, now we've got these accents now with the bulbs and the lamp. It's a shout out to Indie Mogul. That's
the name.
That was the channel.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How do you feel about how that looks on Facebook with that white background? You think that needs to change back to blue?
Yeah, or we bring the brightness down on the TV or something.
Yeah.
I like the white because it looked clean, and it looked different.
Yeah.
I personally think, from my standpoint, it's a bit blown out, but it definitely
is blown out for sure.
I mean, the gold and the blue definitely doesn't look bad. We can make some variations of it, because all you have to really do is change the background and the text.
I think that's what we need to do for sure. Just because I think seeing this right here, it's hard to see the logo. The logo really just kind of blends, and I think that we wanted it to be different, but I think that blue background with Finding Your Place is still different. So we might change that back, but episode one, we're still learning and growing and trying, and if I want to have a message to anybody, that's what you got to do. You got to make some mistakes. You got to shoot. You got to take your shot, and if you miss, realign and try again. And so I hope. That's what I hope the most, is that somebody out there can take some motivation from what we're trying to accomplish. I mean, we're not the smartest people in the room for sure. We're just the ones that are going to try hard, and we feel confident that we can achieve anything that everybody else has already achieved. Like why not? Why can't we achieve that too? Like I believe in myself enough to take these risks for myself. And see if we can't, hit the jackpot, or at least make an impact, because that's really what I'm trying to do anyway. I'm trying to make an impact, and I'm trying to create ways that people can create livelihoods and have dignity in their life, and I think that's that's going to be something that others can take advantage of. Even if they're not a part of our organization, they can come in here and we can help push them to the same goals that we have.
For sure.
Yeah.
Logan, why didn't we? I just thought, why don't we take the cameras, compensate for the brightest thing in the room, and then which would be the TV and these ambient lights, and then adjust these lights as needed. Yeah,
because these feel like that they're brighter than necessary.
A lot of it too is we're getting a lot of light that's reflecting off of the table, which we didn't get last time because of just the how small it was and the material, I guess, on it. So we're getting a lot of light just bouncing. If you look at the logo on the table there, we're getting a lot of, especially around there, we're getting a lot of just light, just
shiny,
bouncing right back off the table and into the camera.
But that makes sense, right?
To the same goals.
Compensate for the brightest thing in the room, and then adjust the main lights as
accordingly.
Needed.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm seeing one comment on here, but I can't see it without bringing the thing up and we hearing the audio. What's the comment on there, Logan?
Well, let me look on here. It's on Facebook.
Yep.
Correct.
If you wanted to, you could just turn the volume on the phone all the way down, and then you could just turn it on.
That's a good idea.
That's what I do on TikTok whenever I'm making one, and because when you're editing it and all that stuff, it replays over and over and over again. I just turn my volume all the way down on my phone.
It was Roger Burke complimenting the table. Thanks, Roger. We appreciate that. No, we had 6 viewers on here at one point. Now we got Jimmy McKenna. What's going on, Jimmy? But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm excited. I want the community to take advantage of what we got here. I'm looking for major engagement from the people of this community to come and let us help them, spread the word. I feel like in the next couple months as soon as they realize what we're up to, I hope they'll take advantage of this thing. So, and we need to go back and get some of our previous guests to come back, like New River Engraving, and like when Jason Diggs drops his next album, we need to get him on and him talk about that.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about that because I had it written down in like my notes to ask in like June or July, and we're like at the end of July.
Yeah,
I knew we were waiting on an album, so I wasn't sure if it was like done or what's going on with that.
Yeah,
so.
I'm directly messaging people the link to the podcast sign up, so we
Are
should.
you telling them like, hey, have a new podcast name?
Yeah,
it's like. We're making changes. This is what we want to do.
Yeah.
And then you send them the link.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right on. Well, we got 30 minutes here. Finding Your Place, episode 1. Changes emotional sometimes, and it's kind of weird. We're changing the name. We got some things going on here, but we think that this is gonna, number one, it's a symbol that I've got you guys. This is our thing. We're kind of moving on. But then, secondly, this is more on brand to our goals. With even there's the real estate stuff, because we can say Scott helped find our place, or he instead of it being like a combative, aggressive thing, it's softer and can travel in different spaces better.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we could tell them about like some of the changes too that we're making to like the podcast, like outlines, and all that kind of stuff. Like for the outline, we're trying to make it more like engaging for people. Like not like engaging, but like more like not just like surface level like questions that you might hear in like a newsroom or something like that.
Yeah,
we're trying to. So like we're looking at like, oh, what are some myths that usually come up, and like have them answer it like I guess kind of on the spot.
Yeah.
I mean, we send it to them ahead of time, but like, yeah, it's like, just like myths in their industry. Then we're like asking them, like, we go on Google and look up like top questions that people search on Google, see if they can answer it.
Yeah.
Which they're professionals, so I don't think it's too hard.
Yeah.
To answer that kind of stuff.
I'm sure they love to do that.
If they're like an influencer or something like that, we like go on like their social medias and be like, all right, what's the story behind this picture? Even though it might have a caption, it's like what's the full story behind the picture?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Not just like, oh, what's your business? What do you do? It's like, oh, these are some like, what's your business? What do you do? But like, there's also other things. It's like, these are some things that like common misconceptions that people have in your industry or about your industry. It's like, these are some things people are asking on Google. And it's like, because, I give a little SEO trick away. That kind of helps us too, because if people are looking it up on Google all the time, that helps us whenever I'm remaking the title, because we're answering that question.
Yeah.
So, there's that. And then it's like, getting to know them a little more. It's like, what's the story behind the picture on your social media, that kind of stuff. So it's like, we're changing it where it's not just like, who are you? What do you do?
Right.
It's like, who are you? What do you do? Answer these cool questions that we have for you.
Yeah.
Hopefully we think they're cool.
Right.
I think they're cool.
Right.
I put them on there. I think they're cool.
No doubt.
So that kind of stuff. And then like other series we have coming on do you want to like talk about like the other stuff that we have coming?
Yeah, let's do that.
So like putting you in your place, obviously we've already talked about that. That's going to be like the rants, I guess.
Yeah.
Or the, like helping people like with
giving
things,
my opinions on
your opinion.
social situations.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So that's like going to be like putting you in your place. Then we're going to do another series where it's like the Nacho Review Show.
Yeah.
So we're still working on that.
Right.
So
and
I think that's
obviously, if you've seen that episode, like nachos has been my favorite food for my entire life.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're going with that. We see the Dave Portnoy One Bite Pizza Review Show that's blown up, and we want to kind of do something similar to that.
Yeah, and we're putting like a spin. We want to talk about the spin we're putting on it. All right, so the spin we're putting on it is we're going to have it delivered to the office, and then you're going to try it.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot of people are, doing like Uber Eats now, DoorDash, that kind of stuff. So it's like, all right, nachos probably not going to hold up well in delivery.
Yeah.
So it's like, we already know that going in, but it's like, it's a problem. And it's like, not that it should be like, we're like, oh, this is a problem, fix it. But it's like something that people should know.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's like, if a restaurant has figured out a solution to it, it's like, that helps them out a lot because we're reviewing it and we're like, this company or this restaurant's figured it out. They know how to ship nachos to your house in like half an hour and them not be soggy when they get there. So it's like, that's the spin on it. It's like, and like we'll probably like do ones where we go like in person, do like a 2-part series.
And here's the thing is like when we travel, there's going to be places like little holes in the wall that has nachos, and we can review that all over the country.
Yeah. We'll like go to the restaurant, eat it there,
Yeah.
and then, maybe we go back another day and then do like takeout.
Yeah.
Bring it back to the hotel room.
Yeah.
It's like, 'cause that's like delivery with extra steps.
Yeah.
I guess you could have it delivered to the hotel room.
Well, honestly, DoorDash, you type in the hotel address, they'll DoorDash whatever.
Yeah, you can,
like when I go out to Vegas, I'm getting DoorDash into the MGM.
So, but yeah, that's like the spin on like the Nacho review show. Or I think we're kind of call it like Nacho average review or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be the real estate thing, because you're a real estate agent, and it's like a lot of the videos that have done well on your channel have been you talking about rent to own.
Yeah.
So people are pretty interested in like your real estate knowledge.
Yeah.
So there's just going to be an episode a week where it's like we come up with a topic, and it's like you just answer it.
Yeah.
It's like that's the show.
Yeah.
It's like you answer the important question.
Yeah. So that's the one question show, right?
I guess it could be the one question show. Yeah. But I thought the one question show was more of like people ask you like one question. The real estate thing is more of like, this is a question that people have in real estate.
So we're more focused on real estate at that point.
Yeah.
The one question show can just be a question about anything.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah, and that's more of like a short like little TikTok snippet kind of deal. Yeah. Whereas like the real estate thing would be like, like I think we were talking about one episode being like, what is the power of attorney? Right. And then we do like a 7 to 10 minute thing on like, this is what you do. This is how you go about getting the power of attorney. Yeah. It's like, these are the steps. Yeah. It's like, this is what it does. It's like, you would use it in these scenarios. There's like things like that.
Yeah.
So, and like, you're a real estate agent and we know you're qualified to talk about that stuff. So it's just sort of like, let's play on that knowledge.
Yeah.
It's like, let's make a series out of it. So yeah, it's like, those are like the few like, shows that we're going to like kind of play around with.
Yeah.
So I think the first or like the next thing that would be coming out after like defining your place would be probably like the putting you in your place show.
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't know. No, we'll do that. I was going to say maybe it might be a little confusing if we do them both back to back, but it should be fine.
Yeah.
I think. So yeah, that's probably going to be the next one. And then after that, probably the nacho thing and just keep adding on to it.
Yeah.
So, and we're dropping like YouTube micro clips. We're just doing TikToks. They get repurposed on things like Instagram Reels and that kind of stuff.
So you're not going to do shorts anymore?
Well, no, we're doing YouTube Shorts. It's like TikTok.
Oh, so
Reels,
you're like the 5 minute things that come off this. You're not going to.
Yeah, we're probably just going to rip like clips and like put them on like Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and then keep YouTube like, this is where everything's happening.
Gotcha.
Kind of deal. Is what we're going to do. Just like, because like if we're going to spend a lot of extra time filming other episodes or other shows, we don't have much time to edit. Well, we have time to edit. It's just we don't have time to edit an hour-long podcast.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, it's like that was the trade-off. It's like with time, it's like, okay, we film these episodes and then edit them and then put them up. And it's like, if we have time, we'll rip a clip from like the podcast and then put it out on like Facebook and whatever. And we're not going to worry about time limits. We're just going to throw it out there just so like we're doing it.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. So
yeah. Volume is the biggest deal for me. Like having something that you can put up every single day, maybe getting it to 2 times a day. Obviously we want quality, but I think with quantity will come quality.
Yeah. The idea was just giving it a variety.
Yeah.
A variety of things to offer rather than it just being one thing. Because someone might not be interested in like finding your place, but they'd be interested in the Nacho Review show.
Yeah.
So that was sort of the idea. It's like we're doing quantity, but we're also doing variety.
Yeah.
So not, because like I feel like we're losing quality.
Yeah.
I think you can do quantity and have quality.
Well, yeah, but I think that's how you get the quality is doing it enough times consistently to figure out like honestly what the audience wants to hear.
Yeah.
Like if we go and we we say something and there's a big spike in interest, we might want to triple down.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if we say something on a podcast and we're like, oh, people are really interested in that.
Yeah.
Like I know in like the real estate side of things, this could probably be, I guess we could, I don't know, if it's like a me and you thing, because I know a lot of people talked about or like the rising home prices in Blacksburg video. I'm trying to remember what the clip was. We pulled a clip and it was one of those.
Yeah.
They were like really interested in that, so maybe we could do one of those and find a show that it fits in. So it could be like the real estate. That one could fit in a lot of different ones. It could be like real estate. That could be finding your place. That could even be putting you in your place.
Yeah.
It could be a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Or you could take the same topic and turn it into a bunch of different things. So like putting you in your place is talking about like, you know, you're riffing on the town for not taking action. They're taking action now. I'm going to give them credit. They're taking action now. Like I've been filling out the surveys because I'm 22. I'd like to buy a house one day.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure it's affordable. I can't afford a $400,000 house in Blacksburg or Christiansburg. It's getting pretty pricey in Christiansburg now too.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like, you know, you do the putting you in your place where it's like, you know, you're talking about that. Finding your place, you're talking about what, you know, we revisit the topic. Me and you were talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, because coming from my perspective too, it's like me being young, don't have a house yet.
Yeah.
So can't do like, I can't go like 30,000 over asking either because I don't have that kind of capital to fight with. So, you know, things like that, you do finding you in your place. And then you could do like a real estate episode where it's like, you're talking about like, this is what happened. This is how we got here. It's like, this is a problem. Make sure it's not a problem in wherever you're living.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it is, this is what you do. And it's like, you show like, this is what our town is doing to take action, that kind of stuff.
That's very interesting for sure.
So you could take that idea and you could turn that, like
yeah.
Off the top of my head, I was just like, you could turn it into 3 different shows.
Yeah.
So just off of that one idea.
So we just gotta have the pulse of our community. We gotta be ready to jump when things happen. You know, like if they're having a big meeting, like we probably need to be in the meeting, you know, or some presence there, somebody that can report to us at minimum, you know, and just be engaged, you know, like us being engaged in the community and the things that are going on with local business and the, you know, the direction that the leaders of the community is taking us. That's something that's very interesting. I think that would be valuable in this show, you know, and, you know, me and you talked off air that we want to avoid politics of it all.
We just don't want to be dividing.
Yeah.
We
want to be informative.
Yeah.
That's it. We want to be informative, and we want the community to make the decisions on what's right, but we want to hold the power accountable. You know, we want to challenge their thoughtfulness every step of the way. You know, so like.
Well, I mean, like not like every step of the way.
Well, I mean,
I think they make good decisions like a lot of the times.
Probably.
There's just like there's a couple of things where it's like where I'm just I question it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and I've spoken up when I don't question everything they do.
Yeah.
It's like, because we put them in there for a reason, and I think they make good decisions a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a couple things, you know, it's like and I've spoken up about it. It's like the red zoning for Midtown. That was kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
And then it was like the whole, like, new developments can't be under, you have to be over like 22 or 23, something like that. And like, you have married, or you have to have a family. So it's just like those are the things where I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. It's like I understand why they do it, but you know, it's just things I question.
Yeah.
So, but I think they make good decisions a lot of the times.
Yeah, the majority of the times they're probably right on. But when they're trying to strip freedoms or they're trying to control the population in a way that isn't lawful, something like that.
Well, at the same time, it's the numbers game too. They're playing in what's in favor of the majority of what the town is, and you know, it's like
the majority of the people that are going to keep them in office.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's a good episode. I think we've done a lot of heavy lifting these couple months, and I hope we can continue to just be confident in what we're doing, no matter, you know, the engagement we get. Like, I just want to encourage you to just put your head down and keep doing it, and just know that at the end of the day, it's going to be successful. Like, that's what I believe. I believe that you two are the right people. I think you two are the right people for the positions that you hold. And I think collaboratively we can come up with a strategy that we get to where we want to be.
Yeah, I think we got it.
Cool.
We got it.
All right, episode 1, finding your place. All right, so I need subscribers. I need comments. I need likes and shares. Any support from you guys would be, I would be very grateful for any support that you would give this. So share it. If you're on Facebook, go and like it and comment on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And next week we will be back for episode 2. Thanks a lot.